Hey, what is going on with you guys? You know who it is your favorite Roblox. I am kidding, I am not a block, but it is of course SubZeroExtabyte coming in clutch with another video for you guys today, and today we are of course doing something new, and with something new I actually mean the same old. And by same old I mean that there is something really strange going on today. So as you may have noticed, we have done a little video on the Tattletail species coming over to Roblox. Well, you would be right about that, and I can honestly tell you that I am not all that excited for it. I mean, there are a lot of things that I love about these little things, but all of those things got thrown away when I got one of those for Christmas 18 years back in 1998, and that was really scary. I have only just uploaded the footage of that night a couple of days ago, so if you have not yet seen that video, then please go check that one first before this video, so that you actually know why I am even so scared of these little things. I mean, they are made for kids, right? And I was a kid back then, but that did not make it more fun for me. It actually only made it less fun and more scary, since I was basically stranded out at my grandparents' their house, and I was just spending all night smashing doors in the house while they were gone. And I usually go over to my grandparents' place during the Christmas days so that my parents can have some time off, or actually could have some time off, because as you may have noticed, the fact that I do not even live with my parents anymore, but that is all tomatoes. The fact that they went out that night to go to some fancy place with the rest of my family, and I had to stay and watch the home while they were gone, and the only reason they gave me for leaving me all alone around the Christmas days was that there was a surprise present for me laying around the house somewhere. And of course that was the moment that I got all excited and I started looking for it. So after a lot of time searching for the present, I still had not found it, but what I did find were some really weird looking entities in the basement who kept following me and stuff. So that was like really weird, but that did not even matter to me back then, because I was just way too hyped to get my present. And then after some time I saw something else in the basement. I mean, at first there was this doll look-alike thing. I am not sure what it actually was. Oh wait, it was a mannequin. Yeah, that was it. So at first there was this mannequin, and after a while I went outside and there was a Tattletail sitting there. And I had no idea what to do. I was thinking like maybe that was just something that my niece left behind. But then it started talking and stuff, and I got really scared. So I was like, cash me outside, how about that? And then I ran into the basement and there were more of them. So I was like, maybe my niece got a lot of them for Christmas and did not care to tell anybody that she left them at my grandparents' their house. But of course I was the most manly man in the house, since I was alone. So I had to do something, but I had no idea what. And then after some time I saw it. What I saw was the gift wrapping that I should have gotten, and I was like, alright, there is my present, now where do I sign so I can get out of this stink hole? And then I saw the connection. I mean, that was the moment that the stars just aligned and I saw it. The Tattletail in the basement that kept talking to me about its mama was not talking to me as a person. It was talking to me because I was its owner. The Tattletail unwrapped itself right then and there, and that was the moment that I just started running to never look back. I have not seen my grandparents ever since actually, and I ended up doing a lot of different stuff during the next couple of Christmas holidays because I kept getting nightmares about that night, and every time those nightmares hit were around the time that the anniversary of that night came up. So it was like the Tattletail actually were coming for me now, and this time I felt it again. This year around the Christmas holidays, I know that I was all jolly and stuff on the outside, and I was truly jolly because of the fact that I had got to hang out with Santa Claus and all of that cool stuff. But the most important part was that I was doing all of those things to keep my mind occupied, and what I did was nothing else than just keeping the voices of the darn Tattletail out of my head for one more day, and then one more day, and just one more day until tonight, because I could not take it any longer. I just felt trapped inside of my own mind, and I could not get out, because every time I tried to change my mind about some things, I just saw the exit, and the exit was in sight. I mean, the victory would have been within the mile, but every time that I got closer to that door and to that exit, every single time that happened, it just shut close, and in front of it would be the person who closed the door. And you know who that was? It was the Tattletail that appeared before me in the basement on that one Christmas night, and I just cannot take that any longer. And I will find a cure for all of this, so that I can cure my Tattletail phobia and I can stop living with fear when the Christmas holidays are coming up. But of course there is something that I hold very dearly to myself, And that is the fact that when you fear something, you cannot keep running away from that or those fears. You will have to confront your fears to actually make amends with them and keep them away forever. Because something is not scary once you have no fear for it. So that is what I am doing today. And that is exactly why I am inside of this house today. So that I can get tested with my one and only fear in life. And that is the Tattletail. So excuse me if I end up just running away from time to time, because for right now I am still scared out of my mind and I would rather not be here. But I know that I will have to do this right here in order for me to succeed and come out of this video as a better man, a stronger man as you will, and especially someone with one less fear in his life. Because we all know what happens when you fear something, because fear will lead to anger. Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate and hate leads to suffering. So I will always take the advice that my dear pal Yoda gives to me in consideration, and today I will make sure that it is another day where SubZeroExtabyte does not fall toward the dark side, because I am just way beyond that. I am a Jedi or I will be nothing, and I am not nothing since everything is matter, and you know that just means that I am something. Thus I am a Jedi that was really complicated for something that had not have to be complicated. But I will apologize for that dispute right there, and we will just fly on as we must. Oh my god, that present just scared the living poop out of me, man. That was the exact same present as that I saw in the basement right then and there. Man, this is really getting too scary for me. I wonder if there are any of you out there who just feel the exact same about this. I mean, there are a lot of things that I am scared for because I am used to sitting behind a computer screen all day playing video games. So basically everything in the outside world scares me. But right now we are inside, and even right now in my home zone, you know, they are scaring me and I have no idea what I can even do about it right now. It is just all getting too much for me. There are two basic motivating forces: fear and love. When we are afraid, we pull back from life. When we are in love, we open to all that life has to offer with passion, excitement, and acceptance. We need to learn to love ourselves first, in all our glory and our imperfections. If we cannot love ourselves, we cannot fully open to our ability to love others or our potential to create evolution, and all hopes for a better world rest in the fearlessness and open-hearted vision of people who embrace life. So I mean, I cannot go on and live in fear like that. I will have to learn how to go on and grow past this. Maybe this is all just a growing pain. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. So what that means is that you are not the brave man if you do not feel any type of fear, because you do not have to be brave if you are fearless. So like, let's say that I'm getting into a room with someone and there are a lot of spiders and we have to get to the other side through thousands of spiders, and the one who gets to the other side wins. Well, you know, the person who does not fear the spiders is not a brave person, because for him it would not matter if it were spiders or freaking Twinkies. But if I end up getting to the other side of the room while I am dead honest really afraid of spiders, then I will have a problem, because I am that afraid. But once I actually do get to the other side, then at that point I am the brave man out of the two of us. So that was very elaborate, but it was something that I thought was needed to be said. So you can just take this and put this into your own life. Because if you fear something and you still do it, then you are brave. But do not be sad about the fact that someone else does do it who is not afraid, because that is like comparing apples to oranges. They both really have nothing to do with what I am saying right now. But of course that does not mean that you can just give up when you fear something, because that still will not make you the brave man or woman for whatever end up being in a new case. So do not take fear as an excuse for not doing something, because if you really love something you will push through it no matter what it will be. It's the questions we can't answer that teach us the most. They teach us how to think. If you give a man an answer, all he gains is a little fact. But give him a question and he'll look for his own answers. That is something that we can all learn from, I think. I must say a word about fear. It is life's only true opponent. Only fear can defeat life. It is a clever, treacherous adversary. How well I know. It has no decency, respects no law or convention, shows no mercy. It goes for your weakest spot, which it finds with unnerving ease. It begins in your mind, always. So you must fight hard to express it. You must fight hard to shine the light of words upon it. Because if you don't, if your fear becomes a wordless darkness that you avoid, perhaps even manage to forget, you open yourself to further attacks of fear, because you never truly fought the opponent who defeated you. But I will try and get out of all of the philosophical stuff, because you know I mean, there might be a lot of things going on right now which I want to talk about, but in the end I have a fear for a tattletale, which is pretty freaking dumb, right? So let's just put all of the philosophical things behind us and just focus on the facts, because it is not like I am scared for something unknown or for something really big and scary. Not the anxiety that I am feeling right now has nothing to do with that, but it does have everything to do with the way that I'm treating this. I am right now doing nothing else but stalling the fact that I want to get over this tattletale phobia, and by talking about it makes it a little bearable because I do not have to face the facts really. So I will have to find some way so that I can find out what actually makes me this scared of these animals or creatures or whatever they are. So help me God, when I am trying to find this peace of mind inside of myself, I will have to find out why I am so scared of these things, because my fear for the tattletales is not a rational fear. It actually is an irrational fear. So we say that this is anxiety, and we have to make sure that we can find a reason for this irrational fear so that we can close the chapter on this tattletale thing. Let me say this to you. This is a quote by Maria Curie. She was a double-time Nobel-winning scientist in the field of physics and the field of chemistry, and that was in 1903 and 1911. But this is what she said about fear, and I quote, "Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more, so that we may fear less." So that is exactly what I am saying right here, right now. I have to stop living with fear, and the only way I can stop living with this is to understand the fear, because right now I am afraid of the tattletale for an unknown reason, and I will have to find out why I am scared of that so that I can understand my fear. And once you understand the fear, you are no longer afraid of said fear. I know that it is a complicated subject, but it is something that I will have to live with for the rest of my blocky life, or I can get away with it right here and right now. So how about we go into the bedroom right here? There is just nothing around here which may lead to a cause of this manic thing that is bugging me right now. I mean, why do I have to be scared of something as dumb and as small as this? It is just weird and it does not make sense to me, and usually everything makes sense to me because I am awesome, and obviously being awesome means getting to understand basically everything, and with it I mean that pretty much everything I know is pure logic. Know what I mean? I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about, as all of you are basically as awesome as me. Well, maybe not as awesome. And what is this? Oh my god, I think my heart just literally sunk into my feet. My god, this thing looks horrible. I really do not understand why I am putting myself through all of this when I do not want this. No wait, sub, you are above this. This is probably just the tattletale mother trying to Jedi mind trick me. Well, your Jedi mind tricks do not work on me. She just wants me to forget everything right now and to just go with the flow and just have to go through all of the nightmares over and over again until come Christmas and the nightmares start getting worse and all of that good stuff. But I just cannot live with that, so I will have to push on to find a good reason, or just to find some solace in my fear. But I am not at that point just yet right now. There is something about all of this, because like I said, I used to get over this with the holidays. The nightmares would grow stronger and stronger when the Christmas holidays were coming up, and then I would have all this joy and I would be all jolly and I would not be thinking about that stuff. I would only be thinking about the light, and sometimes the dark side broke through, but I was able to keep it out with more light. But then this time right after the holidays I was alone again and the nightmares hit me full storm and I had no idea what to do. And the amazing J.R.R. Tolkien has said something about this in The Children of Hurin, and this is a The Lord of the Rings quote, so bear with me right now. A man that flies from his fear may find that he has only taken a shortcut to meet it. And this is exactly how I feel about my fear of the tattletale. I was always trying to run away from it, but at the time that I was running the hardest, it just flanked me when I was not paying attention to it. So like I said, I will be battling this fear head on, and I will tell you guys that I will not rest until my fear is gone forever. And I literally mean that I will not rest until it is gone, because I will not be able to sleep because of my nightmares. So I have that going on, which is nice, I guess. I will literally not be resting until the day that I find a cure for my fear. That is one hell of a bummer, you guys. There will always be someone willing to hurt you, put you down, gossip about you, belittle your accomplishments and judge your soul. It is a fact that we all must face. However, if you realize that God is a best friend that stands beside you when others cast stones, you will never be afraid. never feel worthless and never feel alone. And as long as I have you guys, I will never feel alone, so I hope that you guys feel the same way about me. And even though I am sure that I will have to live with this Tattletail nightmare for the rest of my life, I will be able to get through all of this because I still have got you guys. So with that said, I will be leaving you, and I will still try and shut my eyes, and I hope that you guys will too. A good night rest is really good for you, and you don't want to wake up early being tired, do you? Yeah, that's what I thought. But one thing though, watch out for Tattletail.